I've been a long-time fan of UFS on FreeBSD, but with FreeBSD 13 coming soon, I'm going to be changing to ZFS on my desktop. And to start with, I'm learning about boot environments. I'm going to be looking at two boot environment control utilities or managers. One is Bectl and the other one is Beadm. Now what these will do is they'll take a snapshot of your current working boot environment, and if you make any major changes and the changes go wrong, you can roll back to the last working copy, which is a pretty cool idea and something which I've not used on the desktop, which I'm going to start doing with 13. So if you just type Bectl, you get quite a few options there. But what we're going to keep this simple. I'm going to, if you put Bectl list, and it'll show you the default boot environment. And there's one over there called test. The test is what I did earlier when I was testing things out. So we're first going to delete the test one because we're going to recreate it. So if you put Bectl destroy, the -O raises any ZFS snapshot associated. If you don't put the O, it will just leave the snapshot and just get rid of the boot environment reference. So that's been deleted. And if we issue the command htop, you can see it's not installed. So to get things going, I'm just going to take a snapshot of this system as it is now. So Bectl create test. And if we list, you can see we're back to a test again. So now we're going to install htop. And this could be anything that we're installing. It could be a database or it could be an upgrade. And the upgrade may go wrong. And well, htop is now being installed. So this upgrade might have gone wrong, or we might have deleted something, or anything could have happened really. So if you do anything major, always make a snapshot first, then you can roll back. So there's the test. And we're going to set the test as the active boot environment on the next boot. So Bectl activate test. And it says successfully activated boot environment test. We're going to reboot and we're going to choose, well, it will already be chosen for us that we boot into this test environment. And you'll see a new option at the bottom called 8. It says boot environments. And you don't have to press it, but if you press number 8, it'll come up with a little sub-menu. And it'll tell you that the active one is test. So we're just going to boot up, fast forward this, and we'll just log in. And if it works right, we should be into a version of FreeBSD that didn't have htop installed. So type htop and not found, whereas we knew we installed it. So this is running the version before we installed it, or before we upgraded and it all went wrong. So I think this is a really, really cool feature. So just like Bectl list. And again, it tells you that NR next to the test shows that this is the current working boot environment. So yes, a very simple demonstration. And of course, like I say, it could be anything just in case you make a mess of any updates. And it's a very useful tool indeed. We're just going to delete the default one, because that's the one that we don't want. And there we go. So we're just left with that. So that you can rename it or just leave it, but that's now the default one. I've never really used this for the desktop before, but it's something I can see myself using a lot. As a force of habit before any upgrades are used. I've never really had a problem with any updates to FreeBSD. It tends to go really smoothly, but I'm getting into the habit of doing that now, just in case. A very useful tool indeed. So the next one we're looking at is Beadm, which is the precursor really to Bectl. Bectl is based upon Beadm, or Beadm, and a lot of the commands are actually the same and the same functionality, but there are some key differences. One of them is the Bectl comes part of the base install, and Beadm has to be loaded in from ports, which is not a major thing. It has a fewer range of commands than Bectl, and some differences. It will ask you if you want to delete any boot environments. It will automatically delete a ZFS snapshot, so you don't have to specify with the -O, O for origin, so you don't have to delete, you don't have to actually tell it to delete the original ZFS snapshot. Beadm is written in POSIX with the /bin/sh, whereas Bectl is written in C using libzfs. And with Bectl, there is a check option. But Beadm, I keep calling it Beadm, does that check every time it's run. So certain amount of autonomy with Beadm, which you have to actually specify when you do Bectl. So, but basically they're the same software. It depends on which. If you want more control, I think Bectl will give you that. And I think if you want more ease of use, I think Beadm will give you that. And there are some differences when it comes to managing jails, but that's for a future video. Like I say, Beadm has all the same functionality and most of the same controls. So if you do a Beadm list, it will show you the boot environment we created under Bectl, or BECTL. And just to show you that, remember the boot environment we're actually in didn't have htop installed, so we're just going to install htop again into this environment. We're going to use Beadm to create a test 2, which will contain htop, and we're going to activate test 2 like we did before, and then we're going to quickly delete htop. So htop's gone. Accidentally deleted us. We're already here, we made a mistake. So quickly let's reboot, and we're back into it. Choose it's obviously just press 8 if you want to check that it's going to load it up, which is test 2. Reboot in. And htop. There we go. So it has all the same functionality as the other one. One thing that I'm going to say is that I will invariably get asked if it's a backup for your home folder, which it's not. It's only the boot environment. So the working system doesn't include all the user files, etc. in your home folder. But anyway, this is a quick summary. I mean, I've learned something as I've gone along, so hopefully you've learned something too. It's a wonderful utility to make a safe backup of any working system if you're going to make any major changes to it. It's something which I'm going to be using all the time when FreeBSD 13 comes out, when I switch to that, and when I use ZFS full time. I'm going kicking and screaming to let go of my UFS, but I think I need to move to ZFS. Now that OpenZFS 2 has been developed and it's incorporated in FreeBSD 13, I think it's about time that I got with the program. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Well done if you've made it to the end of the video, and if you've found it useful in any way, then please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to make sure you don't miss future videos, then please click the subscribe button and the notification bell. This helps the channel grow so that I can keep on making content that helps the FreeBSD community grow as well.